Guys, hope you are doing well. Welcome in the next video of the course. So basically in this video we will be going to implement the front end of this particular screen. So stay with me and let's get started. So basically I have extracted the components from the front end already, like this background leaf and icons, colors, text, and also their font family. So basically I have did a simple structure of the application that contains a asset folder. Inside the lib I have utils folder, and inside util I have two dot files. One is for app colors and another for app constant. So basically I have extracted the app colors from here, and I have extracted the app constant of first three screens, right? Like you guys can see, hello, nice to meet you. So I basically stored this into a dart variable, hello, nice to meet you, inside app constant class. And after this I have views folder where I have very simple login screen. It contains nothing. And another I have widget screen. So all the widgets that are going to be reused I will be using upon here. And I have main.dart file. Here I have very basic structure setup. Here I have run app, and then my app as a stateless widget that have get material app. So basically I'm using getx for all the state management stuff. So for this you have to go towards pubspec.yml file and you have to install get plugin. For images I will be extracting all the images, as you guys can see, in the svg format. So for this purpose I'm using Flutter underscore svg, and as this app is using a font family of Poppins, so for this purpose I'm using Google Fonts. All the fonts that will be using application will be implemented by me, right? So that's all about structure. Let's get started. For assets, one more thing I have to mention is I have registered my assets folder. As you guys can see, it have 3 svg files. So okay, that's all about setup and configuration. Let's move toward main.dart file, and after moving toward this I have very simple login screen, right? Let's see this. Okay, login screen contain nothing. Now let's start our work by running the application. In running form, so let's get started. Okay, so as you guys can see, we have this green area. Suppose if we give the whole screen 80% of the height, 100% of the height, so I think and I believe that 60% of the height is basically covered by this area, or maybe yeah, I think it's 60%. So now how we can do this is very simple. We just have to wrap this column with a container, give it a full width, and for this we have to import get. Also we have to give this container a height of the screen, right? After doing this we have to create a widget. We have to call green intro widget. So this is the widget that I'm going to create inside widget folder. Let's create a dart file, green intro widget, and make sure that the widget name should be exactly same over here. I'm going to call it widget, and from here I'm returning a container. Okay, and for this I should import material.dart, right? Okay, so now I have to again give it a full width, and again I have to import get package. For height I want to give it a 60% of the total height, so 0.6 is the 60% of the height, right? And I got an error because I should refer this widget, okay, or import it. And now I will be able to see this. Okay, let's import it. This widget has been imported successfully. Now let's give it a decoration. So I'm going to give it a box decoration because it's a container, and called image, sorry, and I have to provide decoration image. Inside this I again have to provide image, and I have one PNG image which I called mask, so I will be using this as a decorator. So this is in assets, so I'm going to call asset image, and the path is assets slash mask.png. Alright, so yeah, you guys can see mask is append here. Now I have to call fit box fit dot cover, and yeah, it is now looking good. Let's see the UI. Sorry, where is the UI? Okay, it's here. It's now looking good. One more thing is we have to add these things in front of or as a child of the container that we have decorated. So now let's call child, and we have to make it column, and it should be center, main axis alignment dot center. Okay, the next thing is we have to provide children's. So if we see in the design, we have this image, or you can say the icon, and the green taxi. So basically these are both images. So I'm going to call image dot so I have extracted these as SVG, so I'm going to call SVG picture dot asset. For this I have to import SVG. Make sure you import SVG underscore Flutter. Okay, and then I'm going to provide assets slash leaf space icon dot svg. This is the icon that I will be using, right? After doing this, I'm going to make it a color, or you guys can see it's been loaded. The next thing is I have to give it some spacing. So I'm going to make it const size box. Suppose for now I'm going to give it a 10 height. Let's see how much it is between them. Okay, this is selected, and it's basically 23, but maybe the pixel ratio is changed from the mobile. For now I'm going to give it 10, and again I'm going to call svg picture dot asset, and we have to call assets slash green taxi dot svg. Alright, so this color, it's look good. Now let's give it a little more height of 20. So yeah, if you guys can see on the design and also on here, it looks almost the similar. So now let's work on the next part, right? So this is the 60% of the available height, and this portion is now 40%, but we don't have to mention that remaining is 40%, but instead we have to make it expanded. I'm going to make another widget. For this it should be login widget, right? Login widget, and let's create this widget inside widgets folder, login underscore widget, and this is going to import material as always, and widget I'm going to call it login widget. Okay, and from here I'm going to return expanded, because the remaining area will be occupied by this widget, and I'm going to provide a child, and in this case we also have a column. If you guys can see, this is text, spacing, text, and again spacing, again text. Okay, so this is showing the flow of column. So let's implement column, and we have children, right? So first children that we have is this very narrow hello nice to meet you text. Now let's do this. First of all, I'm going to call text. Let's make this reusable. I'm going to create another widget, and it's going to be a text underscore widget. Okay, import material, and I'm going to call widget text widget, and here I have to return text widget, right? After this, I have to provide few required parameters. I'm going to call required string text itself, and after this I will be going to do some decorations like style. I'm going to call Google fonts dot poppins, and suppose the by default size is, or by default font size is 12, right? So I'm going to make it double font size equal to 12, and or here we have to mention that font size, okay, sorry, come up, don't know why IntelliSense is not working. Yeah, font size is not here, and we have to provide few more parameters over here. It should be a font weight, and by default it will be a normal, right? And upon here I have to provide font weight, the font weight variable, right? So now let's use this, and I'm going to show you the power of reusable components. This is the login widget. I'm going to call text widget. Make sure you use exactly same spelling, and the first one is hello, nice to meet you. For this I have to go to app constant, and you guys can see I have string for this, hello, nice to meet you. So I'm going to use this inside login widget. Okay, app constant, and instead by creating I am using nice to meet you, and I'm going to okay, it's giving some error. Let's see what it is. Okay, we have to import this widget that we have created, right? And let's give it a how to start, and you guys can see we have got hello, nice to meet you, but in the center of the screen. So we have to do it little bit alignment. Okay, so basically by default the main axis, the cross axis alignment is center, but we have to make it start cross axis alignment dot start, and you guys will see this widget will come up here. Okay, no problem. Let's wrap this with a okay, let's see how we can fix this. Text align dot start. Okay, this is also not working. Let's see for another solution. Okay, this is here login widget, sorry. Okay, I think we have to fix this over here, cross axis alignment dot start. So yeah guys, the mistake that I was making is basically it should be in start in the root widget, not in the sub widget. It's also better that we have to make it in start for the sub widget, because if you guys can see the sub widget too, it's kind of started from the left. So we have this, but one more thing, we have some spacing over here. So let's create this spacing, const size box. Okay, and yeah, I'm doing it in irresponsive, so later we will make it responsive. Okay, I'm going to make it 50. And one more thing, if you guys have noted, all the widgets inside this portion are aligned and have some padding, right? So let's find out how much padding it is. From left side it has 36 padding, and from right side it has 40 padding. So let's do this. To the login widget we have to wrap it, we have to wrap it with a padding. Where is padding? And we have to convert this all to symmetric, and here we have to provide horizontal of 20. And yeah, it's now looking good. Let's make another text as well. So the next text that we have, get moving with green taxi. So let's copy and paste, and we have to get moving with green taxi. We got this text, but now we have to do some customization in the size, etc. So you guys can see I have font size of 24 and it's bold. Now let's do some configuration. Font size is 24 and font weight is bold, right? So yeah guys, it's now looking good, but the problem is it got into the next line. So this means we have to reduce size a little bit. Okay, so now it's looking good. Let's see on the design. Yeah, it's now looking good. Let's make it 22 either. Okay, perfect. Next we have to create some spacing. Okay guys, spacing is created. Now let's create a container, because I will show you why I have used container. So if I can show you, we have this widget. This is basically combination of two widgets. We have this country picker and text field. So we will use a row over here, and for decoration, as you guys can see here, we have shadow and rounded corners. So we have to make it container. That's why I have used container with some decoration. Full width, and for height I have to get this property from here. So the height is 65. Now we have to see how much border is here. So okay, we have 12 border radius and 4 corners. Border radius dot circular 8. Okay, next thing is we have white color in the text field. Now you guys can see we have this light, very light container created, but now let's make it visible. So for this I have to give it a shadow, box shadow, and it takes box shadow object. Let's give it a colors dot black with opacity 0.1. Spread radius should be 2 and blur radius should be 2. If I give it a restart, so now it's looking visible, right? But if you can see in the design, we have this shadow more spreadable, right? So we have to increase the spread radius 5. It's not looking good. Let's tune the values. Okay, we can change the color value too. So now it's looking fine, but let's reduce this value too. Okay guys, it looks good. So the next thing is, let's reduce this a little bit to 55. Okay, let's first create this, then we will be coming toward this widget. Let's give it some spacing. this is the widget that I have created, and space over here. The next thing that we have to do is we have to use a combination of text. Like you guys can see here, we have light color, and here we got bold, again normal, again bold. So this is a combination of text. For this we have a special widget called a rich text widget, and it takes child sorry, a rich text is basically expecting, okay, what it expect, it basically expect a text parameter, and in the text we have to provide text span. Text span is special widget that have two properties, a text and a child. So in our case it should be child, right? The first child should be again text span with a text inside app constant dot by creating. Okay, let's give it a restart and come on, show the result. Come on, let's give some styling. Okay, it's now visible. Let's see the, okay, the font size is 12 and font family is Poppins. Font size is 12. Okay, I think we have global text styling as well. Yeah, I think we have to apply it over here, so it should be applied on all. Okay, by creating an account you agree to our, and the next thing is kind of bold text, right? So for this we have to just copy in this text bin and paste it over here, and we have to convert it. Okay, we have to provide a customized text style, Google Fonts dot Poppins, and here we have to provide font weight, and yeah guys, you can see it's turned into bold. Next thing we have to do is we have to add some spacing. For this I'm going to add like this. Okay, and we have to add here too. We have to add another text pane for and. I am going to make it simple, and let's copy this again, and we have to convert this into privacy policy. Yeah, so over here we have used text style. It should be Google Fonts dot Poppins, because we are using Poppins as a font family, right? If you guys notice, this text is basically in the center, so we also have to make it in center. For making it center, we have a property in the rich text called text align dot center. Yeah, it's turned into center, but one more thing, it have some padding from here and here too. Let's make it exactly the same thing. So now it's look very similar, right? Okay, now we have to work on this widget. So for this basically I'm going to create this part first. I have this column, right? Let's make widget out of this after doing this. I'm going to call child and row with the children inside. I'm going to create expanded, and another one is container. Okay, with a width of 1 and height of 55 as the parent, and we have to give it a colors dot black, right? Oh yeah, so it should fit the horizontal. Let's give it a light black color with opacity 0.5. okay, the color, let's make it more light. Okay, yeah, now it's look good. The next thing we have to do is we just have to copy this expanded and paste it over here. Now it's divided equally, but I think this is flex 3 and this is flex 1. Let's do this. Give it a flex value of 1, and for this we have to give it a flex value of 3. So now it's look very similar. Inside this container we have to create a text field, right? Let's create text field, and we have to provide some decoration. As it is text field, so we have to provide input decoration instead of box decoration. And here we have to provide hint text. As you guys can see, it is showing that enter your mobile number. So again I have constant for this dot enter mobile number, and it is now showing over here. Now extra thing is showing is this underline. So for this we have to call border input border dot none. We just have to remove the border from this text field, right? If I click on this, nothing happened, but we got one weird error. Is very simple. Hopefully you guys can fix this error. Just wrap this column with a single child scroll view, and the error is gone. So we have to customize the text font size a little bit. The font size is 16 and regular. Okay, login widget, we have to go toward hand style, and it should be Google fonts dot poppins, and font sizes, how much the font size is? 16. Okay, 16 is more than enough. Let's make it 12. Yeah, now it's look good, and it's normal, right? Font weight not normal, and we have to provide some padding from the left side. For this, let's wrap the text field with the container, and we have to call padding edge insets dot symmetric. We have to give it from both sides. I think 10 is enough. Okay, so it's 10 pixel from here and also from here. If I click on this, it's now looking perfect, right? So now we have this done. Let's work on this part. For this we have to use a special library, third-party library. Let me show you. We have to search country picker in Flutter. Okay, so we have this package right over here, and it's loading. Come on. Yeah, you guys can see we have this country picker. This is country code picker plugin. I think we have more useful plugin for this purpose. It's called FL_country picker, right? So I think we should have to use this plugin FL country code picker. It is very easy to install. Just click on this, and we just have to move towards spec.yml and we have to paste it over here. Before proceeding to the actual widget, I got some issues. It is basically showing that incorrect use of parent data widget, so I have to first resolve it. This error is basically happening when you are using a single child scroll view and inside a children you are using expanded, so this is not expected. We have to remove this expanded from here. And now let's restart it and see the result. We don't have this error anymore. Okay guys, so if you have any kind of incorrect use of parent data widget error, you should check out for a single child scroll view or any scrolling widget, and that should contain expanded widget or flexible widget, so you have to remove this. Okay, the next thing that we have to do is we have to move toward the login widget, and inside this we basically have to work over here. So I'm going to create a child with row. Okay, and again I'm going to take 2 expanded because it's inside child, and this expanded is going to be a container. Okay, and another expanded is, I think I don't need another expanded. Let's just use text widget with a default text plus 92. Okay, so it is now looks good. Let's create some space from the right side. For this I'm going to make a const size box with width of 10. Okay, now let's add an icon here too. Icons dot arrow down. We have to check for arrow down, exactly the same as of our case, where it is. Come on. Okay, I think this will be helpful. Okay, and we have to remove this, I think. Yeah, so in this container, if I can show you, we have to use this flag as we have already installed plugin. So this is the login widget, and over here first I have to convert this stateless widget into stateful widget. It's very simple, just click over here and click on bulb and convert to stateful widget. Here I have to create I have to copy code from this plugin that is basically initializing this country picker. We have to paste it over here, right? And next we have to import this plugin. Next thing we have to do country code, and this is going to be a country code, and I'm going to assign default value, name Pakistan, code is plus 92. Okay, sorry, code is PK. PK is the country code of Pakistan, and dialed code is plus 92, right? This is the default widget, and I have to pass this widget to the this country code to the login widget. I'm going to expect it over here, country code, and we have to import it. Okay, the next thing is when we click on this section, right, it should open a dialog for selection. So I think we have to add inkwell on this. We have to wrap this container with inkwell, and inside on tab we have to pass some function, right? And next thing we have to do is we have to call child, and inside child we have country code dot, we have flag widget, flag image, which is a widget. Okay, so now let's see, we have to pass it over here, country code and control S. Let's see the result. Oh shit, app has been crashed successfully. Let's again run it. Guys, app is now running, and you can see Pakistan flag with the country code and also a drop down button. So one thing we have to do is, as we have already created on tab which is inside inkwell, so basically we have to provide this function to the widget. Let's accept it. So function on pressed or on country change, right? So we have to call this function on country change. One way of doing is this, another is like this, okay? And I think that one is most recommended. Here we have to provide this function, and this function is doing nothing except we have to open the country code picker, which is basically showed over here. We just have to copy code from here and we have to paste right here, and we have to make it async, right? Here we are just showing a country picker, and once some country is selected, then we have null check. If code is not null, then what we have to do is country code, we have to assign this code and we have to call set state, right? That's it. Now let's see the result. I'm going to click on the image and you guys can see we have country picker right out there, and I'm going to search for China and I'm going to click on it, and yeah guys, flag has been changed. The text is not changed because the text is just a dummy text, or you guys can see it's static. So let's convert this to, okay, how we can do this? Very simple, country code dot dial code, right? And control S, and you guys can see it's been changed. So there is we have to create a little bit spacing on the left side. So let's do this. Const size box, okay, size box, and let's provide it a width. Sorry, yeah guys, that's it. We are done with creating first screen, and I know this video was quite long, but we have learned too many things in this video. We have created useful widgets, so hopefully the next videos will not be that much long. Stay connected with me. Thank you so much for watching the video.